out of Iowa. Here is the MVP. Offense turned it over 25 times. Into Connecticut. Wnbahighlightstoday Hamilton. Ionescu catch and shoot. Liberty as Jones steps into
point performance right here. Handling the fish is going to be targeted by every
times. New York's had some.
That's that transition defense I'm talking about.
Here's a newcomer, and Katie Lou Samuelson at it.
And she leans in just to.
Ionescu will fire away.
Already tonight than they did against.
As Stewart works her way in, struggling to rebound.
Well,
Brondello in her third year in New York.
Those new fans to the game, Pat. 24/7.
Way inside. This will be a fun matchup tonight. Last 3 seasons, and not bad on the.
Straight up one-on-one.
Second most points she scored with the Liberty, and in that run to the final. Hit a big one in the fourth. Hamilton.
Yeah, that's
go her way here in the early going tonight. Smith on the left block.
A really good shot blocking front line defensively. Try to tack on some
free. She'll drive on Clark. Hit this Indiana offense last year. They're in the home opener.
With the physicality of Connecticut, they're so good.
Good ball movement. Samuelson's open. Chase Jones around the perimeter is Stewart's direction a lot in the opener. Stewart only.
Ball show out. Andy for me. I love it. Coming here.
Smith with the crossover off balance. Jones from the foul line.
Offense as defense. Then New York is too efficient.
That ankle injury still not 100% inside. Spins it over to Boston.
Pitch it ahead, and then you cut off.
This jump forward. The second-year pro Aaliyah Boston. Quill Jones leading the Indiana Fever. Just 8 minutes with the Liberty. Here's Ionescu. But the layup. Smith the rebound. He has the size advantage on Stewart. Points for Boston as Stewart the other way.
Step up screen, gets the switch. That shot. Once you get
in here, turns the corner on Stewart. In 2019, Ionescu.
For Sabrina form.
Clark, step back three. That first three-pointer is Lainey Hamilton. 13 from the field. Scored pass, Samuelson, a corner three. Stewart on a step back. Man, that she scored on Tuesday. Hamilton, Lainey Hamilton, about pre-COVID and had a stand. She was a huge part of that. Over. And 10.
Pat, that
Stewart, contested look. .com. To Casper, I'm Pat Boylan. And here is Wojciech, tough. Wheeler, kick out. Here's Lexi Hull.
He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first.
That might be your first. Clark finds some space. Kennedy Burke,
Erica Wheeler on the top of the floor. Kelsey.
That's a tough look. And Wheeler around. Melissa Smith through Trace.
That's a good defensive job.
That is Burke gets around Smith to the rim and a knife. Vandersloot pulls up, driving into Ionescu, using the other. Ionescu from the mid-range. Whole corner three. She knocked
it that all year. The impact is Pat that have changed it's because there's a demand, and they've changed the way they look at women's sports. 5 players in this league have earned 37. We're first team all to be grateful that somebody like Caitlin Clark
denied as Mitchell gets inside. They're so talented, so entertaining. Here's Wallace off balance, strong
with Christy Wallace, Telly, both part of the Opals.
Friendly?
No.
The coaching change in Phoenix. Jones ball able to take advantage of it. Ionescu off.
With Kelsey Mitchell guarding her.
And Jones high-low, it's Stewart.
Smaller lineup, Katie Lou Samuelson.
Everything running through Stewart so far. A 9-point lead back they've led by is Boston on Jones. Boston ducks in. It back for Stewart or launches. And
he's a good screener. She can.
WNBA 5 years later. And here is Lainey Hamilton, the step. Liberty really protecting
anyone else to be MVP of the league.
But it's Indiana. Let's see if Caitlin Clark can't get Samuelson mid-range shot.
It all very well. And her sister the other night.
Early had some big minute born back in August. This will send John Quill Jones to the foul against Washington, and New York needed every. 3 rebounds, a couple of fouls. Still look. Benley finds some space
to her and let her go to work.
Jones pulls down
for the chemistry on the offensive end.
Stewart sees the double team, leans in, bounce pass. There's Boston. So many assists. Boston the patience and
less than that. It's a great find by Caitlin.
Stewart driving into Benley off balance.
For New York.
Looking to put the finishing touches set on a championship this year. As Mitchell turns on the Jets, little scoop.
In fact, Benley did a really.
Mitchell held scoreless in the first. As number 17, Erica Wheeler Samuelson, deep position, lays it.
To be has to be good as
a trend your teams have is Stewart. It was Clark who got the hand in there. At least right now.
she has 4.
Into a little foul trouble in Connecticut.
I'm defending Katie Lou on that.
Down their first 2 shots of the third quarter. Inside for Stewart.
On that stat.
See Clark up top. Samuelson through it. Smith doesn't get it off in time. It's a Vandersloot drives on Clark, puts on the break. Driving it back at Jones, and a bank shot. Indiana. Austin comes up with a stop.
Watch Indiana. It opens up the lane for a one-on-one.
Hamilton spinning, fading, fire.
New York.
Stewart fading, fire.
She was the MVP of
a 2-point effort. Here's Stewart.
Up the gut to get open.
Fever really tested here in the early. Laney fires inside. There's Jones. To find space here on the offense.
Yes, here's a point I want to make for you work.
Mitchell catch and shoot the extra pass. Vandersloot.
He said not quite, but we'll get it. Right? It'd be hard to get a bunch of new players.
Baskets lately. Laney Hamilton.
Ain't possible.
On second chance points as Laney Hamilton came back to Indiana to start last season. I think every point guard
we had not seen, and there is Kelsey Mitchell because it gets her going.
And Stewart called for the foul. I think a pretty effective 12 minutes so far.
We're seeing what she can do when she stays on the floor.
To see Caitlin Clark, that signature moment here in Indianapolis. Ionescu, a deep 3.
I think most teams are going to continue to Lisa's left, who will be the new.
Mitchell drive it into a triple team, gets it looking her way for years, and all of a sudden.
Right in when you can make play.
And Mitchell knocks. Ionescu driving into Wheeler off back. Jokic trying to find Clark on the drive, gets inside.
You know, here's a difference for Caitlin Clark. The speed of the game. That's an example.
And Clark. And in fact, Benley missed. Rookie out of Germany getting her for Vandersloot left alone. It's on 3 shots here tonight. Clark, step back 3.
Back-to-back national.
Crowd on their feet. Vivish.
Anticipation or the expectation transform it. See this.
And Berger is fouled by
the rim, and then the extra rotation.
That vision like that. There's a 9-second differential as the size advantage on Mitchell. Leaves a
sprint. Well, let's run this.
Bounces in Indiana.
3-point shot near half court to become a night thing. After their second preseason game, that's open for everyone else. So even if
we know Kelsey, she can impact the game more as she.
Smith's been quiet tonight. No look. Stewart's foul.
Acrobatic finish by Stewart.
Pass to Boston, who waits. Side, Jonquel Jones is home free. Wheeler sets up Clark. Oh.
New York has been an issue on the front line.
Have opened up here with the first 7 points up.
To force that switch.
She'll be done. Ionescu launches and Fever do have last year an overtime loss as Indiana looking at a similar task. Jones, beautiful find. Ionescu in the 4th quarter. As Smith. And right back in, Jonquel Jones, the MVP in 2020. Jonquel Jones has a double-double too. She's
against 2 of the top 3 teams.
3 posts for Smith.
Your teammates, you're going to learn a lot about your son Tuesday night with a back-to-back. And for Phoenix, available right now, but I thought Phoenix at all for Indiana.
It's important to keep into context here those outs.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. In the timing, the rhythm of your offense, and it takes some time for that to happen.
Katie Lou Samuelson. Smith driving. Has to hoist. Smith hold it down. 16 more shots than Indy here tonight.
There's one on last year.
As Vandersloot finds some space. Not be a success. That'd be kind of a similar story, albeit.
You need to know how.
Caitlin Clark.
In every facet of the game.
What a night for the Liberties here from Indianapolis as Berger off bounds. Wickich leaves it short. Offensive rebound.
Should, right? Come together.
And they went toe-to-toe. So I think the come around pretty easy.
Here in the 4th quarter. Indiana never. Clark will.
11 points in the second half. He had 20 points on a night where everyone was a rookie. As Thorpe Benley had it blocked on the other end. Time out, except you can't huddle. You can advance. Open another corner.
Sideline out of bounds, baseline up.
Saxton steps into. See, you just see them
They have won at the highest level. Elite level athletes.
Like they were at the beginning of last season.
Tails for Indiana with a younger
Defense there by Indiana. Berger comes up. Much bigger picture here. There was one unanimous answer. As Dojkic, second-year pro out of Croatia, was really good. Dominate the fourth quarter. They outscore it to 66.
Kelsey Mitchell because it gets her.
Back Bentley into a double team, and Stewart called for the foul. Yeah. I think a pretty effective 12 minutes.
It was quick. And now we're seeing what she can do when she stays on the floor.
We'll take a breather. Here for so many to see Caitlin Clark. Still looking for that signature moment here in Indianapolis.
It's not good for Caitlin.
Ionescu, a deep three.
I think most teams are going to continue. Jan Jensen sitting to Lisa's left, who will be the new.
Mitchell drive it into a triple team. Has had almost all the attention looking her way for years, and all of a sudden.
I think she's going to have additional space to operate in. When you can make play to open up the floor.
And Mitchell knocks
top of the floor.
Ionescu driving into Wheeler off back. And Boston came away with it. Dojkic trying to find aim where they are up by 20. Clark on the drive, gets inside.
You know, here's a difference for Caitlin Clark. Shoulders past somebody, you can score, but the speed of the game, that's an exerts the corner.
And Clark's Fag-Benley into the passing lane. And Fag-Benley missed. Leonie Fiebisch, rookie out of Germany, getting her for one. Vandersloot left alone. There's 2 points on 3 shots here tonight. Clark, step back three.
Knock it out in my day. Back-to-back national.
In Indianapolis, as the crowd on their feet. Fiebisch the foul.
Is it the anticipation or the expectation, especially with everything that she has helped the league transform into here?
So this is a pass, swing at Berger, and Berger is fouled by.
That is excellent ball movement. With the drift pass, because she caught it underneath the rim, and then the extra rotation.
Need in the athleticism, Debbie, but when you've got vision like that. 11 here, and they do get the 2-for-1. There's a 9-second differential. Lady Hamilton has the size advantage on Mitchell. Leaves
Caitlin Clark right there. Hold it up. Everybody sprint. Let's run this.
Clark bounces in Indiana.
Her scoring ability, the insane three-point shot near half court to become a quickly caught off on Melissa Smith, saying after their second preseason game, paying attention to Caitlin. That leaves open shots open for everyone else. So even if this one to go along with her 9 points.
We know Kelsey, she can impact the kill her as her time gets more. As she
3-point deficit down to 11. Smith's been quiet tonight. No look. Stewart's foul.
What an acrobatic finish by Stewart.
Loop, shot clock down to 7. Entry pass to Boston, who waits. Inside, Jonquel Jones is home free.
Immediately.
Wheeler sets up Clark. Oh.
Well, the length of New York has been an issue on the front line.
Liberty have opened up here with the first 7 points up.
Randy Brondello to force that switch.
Her 5th. One more, she'll be done. Ionescu launches and
over above 500 last year.
Beavers do have accomplishments last year, an overtime loss as the extra session. Indiana looking at a similar task. Jones, beautiful find. Ionescu 12 points to start the 4th quarter. As Hamilton switch on to Smith. And right back in. Stewart's won a pair of MVPs. Jonquel Jones, the MVP in 2020. And her front court mate, Jonquel Jones, has a double-double too. She's battle in Vegas coming up.
The first 4 games are against 2 of the top 3 teams.
3 posts for Smith.
You're going to learn a lot about your teammates. You're going to learn a lot about your. I had Phoenix at Vegas on Tuesday night with a back to double figures and break off a play at any time. And for Phoenix, Hurt with a toe injury, so she's not available right now. But I thought so the schedule's not easy at all for Indiana.
With a tougher schedule than Indiana, so important to keep into context here. The group that's still trying to figure themselves out.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. Well, you know, there's a chemistry part in the timing, the rhythm of your offense come together. And it takes some time for that to happen.
Fever with numerous new players. Katie Lou Samuelson, not at 100% health to start the year. Smith driving
on that top foot. Everything.
Shot clock down to 2. Wheeler has to hoist. Smith pulled it down. And Connecticut took 16 more shots than Indy, taken 13 more shots than the Fever have here tonight.
We made a significant improvement as the season went on last year.
15 wins. As Vandersloot finds some speed, the goal. Anything less would not be a success for Caitlin Clark. And Debbie, kind of a similar story, albeit
with the new eyes coming to the league. You need to know how.
Here is Caitlin Clark.
21 from the floor, and she scored in every facet of the game.
What a night for the MVP. What a night for the Liberty. Just a nearly flawless performance here from Indianapolis as Berger off balance. Second year in the WNBA as Dojkic leaves it short. Offensive rebound.
Well, they should, right? Come together.
Two of the top point guards in the Big Ten. They went toe-to-toe. So portions of her Iowa career. Of course, I think the come around pretty easy.
They cut it to 11 and they went on that late run here in the fourth quarter. Indiana never takes some time, and certainly Caitlin Clark will.
Fever never got closer than 11 points in the second half. It was a similar story in Connecticut. She had 20 points on a night where everyone was her off night. She's impactful, even as a rookie. As Thorpe. Bentley had it blocked on the other end. Final 2 minutes. A timeout, except you can't huddle. You can advance. And as the season continues, another corner.
To be good in those aspects of the game. Sideline out of bounds, baseline out of ball, called set.
Saxon steps into. Had the second best offensive efficiency. You just see them. Brianna Stewart's.
That's a core group that knows how to win, right? They have won at the highest level because there are highly competitive, elite level athletes.
Are they not figuring out the chemistry like they were at the beginning of last season, 2024?
Larger details for Indiana with a younger.
The defense there by Indiana. Berger comes up and go the way the Fever wanted it to. A much bigger picture here. In the annual GM survey, there was one unanimous answer with 100% Indiana Fever. As Dojkic has the potential to be a difference maker off the bench. Second-year pro out of Croatia was really good. As they dominate the fourth quarter, they outscore it. Liberty win it 102-66.